And I saw someone came to the channel. He said something really cool, and I'm gonna echo this sentiment. I just came back, and holy hell, we got 1,000 people watching a replay. I know it's because there's awesome games. You guys are great for tuning in, and I hope you've been enjoying the matches so far. Because I mean, that last game especially, whew, had me hot and bothered. But this is what I love about the OlimoLeague. You know, it might not always be on the best times for the rest of the world. I think it actually is pretty much an amazing time to broadcast, but it is nice that we get these games, these finals, and I can't wait to do this week because it's been 2 weeks since we've cast them. But anyways, we are back at the finals, guys. This is a recast because we did not cast this. The original cast was, of course, Kaldor, who suffered some dire technical problems during the actual broadcast. So here we are to make sure that the VODs are available for those who missed it. I'm Rifkin, joined today by ZombieGub. This is the edge of it. There's either 1 or 2 games left. Either this will be the last game or there'll be 1 more afterwards. We'll see how this goes down. It's a best of 7, currently leading 3-2 over his opponent in the top right corner of the map. It is going to be the blue Protoss player from MVP, YongHwa.
The bottom left as the green Terran. It's Journey.
Alright, so Journey, worth noting to take that was the 11 gas scan, right? Yeah. This is something you only really do if you're gonna get earlier Hellions out. It's really hard to make earlier Hellions work versus Protoss, but I mean, in general, we've been seeing a lot of good Hellion usage because there's this weird, just beautiful, disgusting irony where it's like Zerg players are the only ones that have had to deal with the wrath of Hellions since the dawn of time. I don't know what it is, but in the last half a year of StarCraft 2, we've been seeing a lot more Hellion usage in TVT, and most recently we've been seeing a lot more in TVP. And it's always funny watching the Protoss run because they're kind of like, what do I do? What is this? What are these units that are never ever made in this matchup?
Yeah, it's the bunny gif again. Sorry, gif.
Okay, I wasn't sure what you're talking about. Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah, you're talking about talk about the peanut butter, it's right.
Yeah. I mean, it's not to say that Hellions are going to be an automatic win. It's not to say that 11 gas is always default Hellions. We have seen weird builds of the players where, you know, you go for like quick Banshees versus Protoss. Hardly works, but there are some that can make it work.
Here's the thing that really sucks about this, though. I mean, it's a 2-base map, so your opponent is going to scout you if they bother to scout, which YongHwa just did with a probe. You see that gas is so early. I mean, you're thinking, like, you know, if you know it, right, Rifkin, then YongHwa probably knows as well. And that, I mean, it doesn't necessarily change up your build that much. But now you just know, like, okay, I'm going to be more cautious about where I put my stalkers. I'm actually going to have to get units. Like, don't be too greedy that I only have, like, 1 stalker and a mothership core.
Well, if we could talk, too, I mean, we saw a cool gateway, and he's actually built with SimCity leading against Hellions on this map. But, I mean, all it takes is 1 good force field to keep Hellions at bay. Keep them out of your mineral line.
Yeah. Well, then that's why, like, the drops are so much more effective because you can bypass that force field. If you're just going for Hellions and, like, straight up into the natural, it doesn't work out so good.
Well, this kind of looks like he's going for the more old school one, you know, 7 Marines, 8 Marines, 3 Hellions in the medevac, so.
That sucks. I guess he saw what he needed to see. Just assume that, yeah, I really saw the Nexus.
I see Winter lurking in chat. Big shout out to Winter. Got to hang out with him a little bit, IEM as well. Those good times. Saw him at Anaheim too, so. Winter!
The attack is now, it's about to come, right? The medevac's just about to start. YongHwa, so far, not even saturating his natural. He might not even, like, he's at 16 probes right now. He might just go ahead and stockpile if he knows it is coming, and I think he does. Stockpile in the main, wait for the attack to come.
Yeah, one of the most painful things is trying to split. Knowing exactly how much to do, how much, where, when, etc. Especially if you don't know if the Hellions are still coming or not. I mean, this build that Journey's going for, guys. It's hardly the new meta flavor of the month, but it is something that we've seen a little bit in the past. Most of the time you end up elevating all your units to the main, but I mean, YongHwa's already got this covered with pylon coverage, stalker coverage. I mean, I highly doubt what Journey's going to do will catch him off guard. So the big question is, how much does Journey lose to this attack? Because it's not about, normally it's about how much damage can he do. This instance, because YongHwa has defended so well, just blindly and preemptively predicting what's going on, it's really about how little damage Journey takes. Because this could go really poorly for him if he loses everything.
Yeah. Not so bad if he loses the Hellions, just the Hellions or just the Marines. Pretty bad if he loses everything plus that medevac. Only 1 overcharge needed, obviously. Enough stalkers that he actually can't take them on. If he had Widow Mines, maybe he actually gets a few like lucky shots, but just Marines, 4 stalkers is enough, and YongHwa feeling pretty darn good about that. Hasn't actually stopped pro production. He's just been rallying it into the main.
Well, the Stalkers did a good job responding to this. No one really lost too much of anything there. CC completes here for Journey here in the natural. It's been a long time since we've seen those earlier third CC builds versus Protoss, but it is something I do like to see from time to time. We saw Flash, of course, make a little bit of use of it during IEM, but Journey's sticking more towards the unit side of things rather than the economy side of things. So one of the kind of scary things for a Terran player, I'd say, is like, you want to do things like pop the overcharge. You want to like bait YongHwa into wasting energy and perhaps losing a Stalker or two. But Journey, despite going for this sort of more, I guess, production-focused opening, isn't really going to be able to do any of that. I mean, look at this. The Stalkers are already on guard for this. The Hellions aren't getting through anytime soon.
Well, Twilight Council goes down for YongHwa. So, I mean, it's what we're always going to expect. Blink and Colossus, and what order you get it is, up to you. But Journey had, a good time on this map the first time, but I feel like YongHwa has really adapted. That first time it was kind of awkward. He was like on 2 bases for so long. The attack wasn't really like, so powered, and Journey just had his number those first 2 games. But now YongHwa has kind of reversed it. Obviously, he's up 3-2 now, as opposed to just being down all the time. I'm not feeling so hot for Journey. It's just... The only thing I think he can really do is wait for YongHwa to get a third, and then start abusing that.
But see, that's kind of the problem, isn't it, though? I mean, the whole thing about Protoss is, like, just playing as defensive as possible until you've got this overbearing army. I mean, you don't really want to wait as a Terran player. I mean, yes, I agree, that's probably his best option, but it's not something you should really want to have to do.
Well, letting them get up to 2 tech, both Storm and Colossus on 2 base, always, it kind of sucks. But then they have a small army and less, not as great an economy. And it just opens up so much more opportunities. But it does drop into the main. Oh, actually,
the Hellions, please! No! A little bit awkwardly controlled. I think this could have gotten a couple more hits off, and they could have done a lot more damage. But the potential for Journey was there. I really like that. It's pretty cool to see. Good control here to YongHwa. He knew there was going to be that Wood Mine, so just baits out the hit, and now I can safely go back to mining instead of waiting for like 40 minutes.
Yeah. Again, going up to the Colossus. Journey, that was pretty sick. If only it was controlled just a little bit better.
Right, like, there's so many times we see Journey do cool stuff like this, and it's like, you remember the first time we saw him do the 8 racks thing with the bunkers? It was like that indecision cost him the game, but then the next time we saw him do it, it was so refined. Why did he just double stim? What? Oh, Journey, please.
Yeah, I don't even know.
You're on your last life.
One thing the Journey has been able to consistently get in like every single game is a much faster third than you would like, I guess expect. Because usually it's like 1 pylon over to the right and like the warping 1's out and you're like, oh, thank you. Like, Jesus, stop that. But he's been able to get up the third pretty fast, no problem for a long time.
Wow, I've been observing for the better part of like 2 years now, and I just learned that if I hold Alt, it gets rid of health bars.
You know what? Even I knew that, so...
Alright, decent attempt to try and catch YongHwa a little off guard. Force skills do go down and the army is backed up.
Oh, wow.
But here's the thing, like, Journey does have a 3rd CC over his opponent. He's got a Ghost Academy on the way. Like, he's not screwed by any means, but I gotta say, it feels like he's just trailing here.
Well, okay, so why a Ghost Academy? This is what, like, YongHwa is getting a lot of Blink Stalkers. The only thing I can imagine is that Journey watched IEM, or he's had a lot of experience on, like, the ladder for this happening. That, like, what MC was doing, like the Mass Immortal with a lot of charge lots.
Well, let's not forget, this was actually played up before IEM.
Oh, that's right, it was. Well, actually, it was during IEM.
Well, the point is, I don't think he was watching, like...
Well, he watched Thursday and Fridays. Anyways. It's probably more likely that it's like a new thing that a lot of pros are doing, which is adding in a lot of Immortals. So that's why we saw it at IEM Toronto. But it's just, that's actually not what YongHwa is doing. He's not going to go into a lot of Immortals and a lot of charge lots. He is actually going up to Colossus. So these ghosts, they're actually not going to be that useful. And we can see that Journey, he's not going to make any. He's going to go and go into another starport and be like, oh, okay, I got a little duped right there. Let me go make Vikings.
Oh, might be able to snipe the Nexus, pull a pull, get out of there, but nah, enemy response steal a little bit too quick. Oh, but swooping in here to the right side. A couple Wood Mines placed down for these Stalkers that did blink forward, bait and switch, with the Marines baiting out, or switching out there. But, yeah, I don't know, like, Journey, it's horrible watching a player play passive, and I'm not saying it'd be good for him to go in for a big attack. I don't think he could even take a fight. But it's more about like trying to find a spot for these medevacs to get him, picking off the observers, making a pathway for himself, because the problem right now is that he's not doing anything. And it sounds so silly to say, but you cannot play passive versus Protoss. It doesn't matter what race you are. Hell, in Protoss versus Protoss, you can't play passive versus Protoss.
Well, we could have seen Journey go ahead and like play a game that is passive. We see some players do passive PvT. And what usually happens there, or TvP rather, is that they do have that final like SCV pull with both Ghosts and Vikings, and that might have been good, but Journey just hasn't shown that to us in all of these games. It's always been about pulling the SCVs before Storm with no Ghosts. That I think, yeah, he should just be abusing the drops right now.
Yeah, so I'm liking this. I'm loving this move. Like, snipe off the Nexus, the army responds, maybe move into the main. YongHwa, though not overreacting, does send some units across the map, looking to perhaps pay him back for losing their third, but I think if Journey goes back to defend right now, like, he has no idea this is coming. If he can catch this, it would be a huge victory for him if he snipes off the Colossus from behind or something.
Yeah, I saw it with the Zelnaga. Where are those Vikings? I know he's been stockpiling. He has 4. No, he has about, yeah, he has 7. So that's a pretty good number, as long as the Stalkers don't get a great position underneath them. Does catch one of the medevacs. I think that was one that was actually full.
I'm a little bit worried about this army supply, too. I mean, the composition for Journey, the Vikings aren't quite out of control. He's got a very low Marauder count, very Marine heavy once again. We saw this last game on Merry-Go-Round, where the Marines can't quite beat out the Stalkers, even with the medevac support. But one of the big things, I guess, there's no storms for this, so he's got that much going for him. He can always pull the SCVs if this gets desperate for defense, but
not many charge outs either, just warping into a huge handful. But he has waited until there's like actually a lot of Vikings, and Journey, well, actually, he's just gonna go straight for the third. All right, it's now that the Colossus in a position. Nope, he's good.
No, he lifts. Wait, how? No, what? Oh, is he pulling them into the fight? Okay, he is pulling them into the fight. Treating them awkwardly, but alright, the fight begins. The SCVs on the front lines to soak those hits. The charge lasts chew through them like nobody's business. Debris everywhere on the ground. However, the Colossus do fall, and the question is, will what's remaining hold the game? Journey's lost a lot of his SCVs, but he holds the third. Falls back to the bunker. There's some Immortals still in this. There's still Marines and Marauders on the left and the right. New Mules reaching the ground, but there's so many Blade Stalkers.
Yeah, and what's really adding to this is the Immortals. Immortals add so much damage to Marauders and Vikings, actually, as long as they have cover. And there's still so many Blink Stalkers that is the cover right now. He could also warp in a bunch of Zealots. Warps in Sentries, interestingly enough, which is just, it's like, because he doesn't have Zealots, why get the Force Fields? You don't have Zealots. Well, anyway, so he has them now. They kind of get destroyed right here and there. But
Marine DPS are just so bad in this scenario. Charge slots coming from the behind, those pylons actually being a huge nuisance. The Vikings on the ground are really not helping that much because, as you pointed out, the Immortals are just shelling through them. Does take out one of the Immortals, tries to go for the other. If he can take out this Immortal, the Marauders might just be able to win through this. There's a lot of medevacs with energy still. Journey pushes YongHwa back.
Yeah, once those Immortals were finally able to get targeted, the Blink Stalkers suddenly just look like nothing to bio with medevacs. Like, seriously. But YongHwa behind that did, he did get the third down. It's about halfway done. Again, I think those Sentries are kind of like, I'm not sure those Force Fields really helped out, but that was close. That was close either way. Of course, Journey did use a lot of the SCVs in defending as well, so he's back down to just 20 compared to 40 to YongHwa.
His income's not bad, because let's not forget, YongHwa did lose that third. His main's been mined out for a while. We got Mules dropped here fresh on this third. Journey's not in a horrible spot despite losing those SCVs, but he does need to get that count back up.
Yeah, and he is. He also has the upgrades going. It's going to be 2-2 versus just 1-1. Very rarely do you see a Terran with the upgrade lead, especially the way that YongHwa's been playing Double Forge in a lot of these games.
But at what cost, says our chat. Perhaps the one thing we forgot to analyze. Well, I think one of the things right now is YongHwa does still have 2 Colossus. There are no Vikings. That's one of the downsides because Journey did land them all. It was necessary that he landed them. Make no mistake. He doesn't have them to deal with the Colossus, so he's going to try to spread the bio. Maybe the Marauders can stim into this. There's going to be Force Fields and Time Warps, though.
Force Fields. Again, the Force Fields. Yeah,
Booby Warps. This one's even got a nipple. Oh, it's great in there.
I'm not sure, like, I feel like buffering with Zealots now is the best idea. I'm just ignoring you, by the way. But, like, Zealots are right now, right? So there's more buffer and more use for the Force Fields, too. Third Colossus joins, and there's just no way only bio, no matter how good the spread is, with as much fodder as YongHwa has, is defeating this army. So Journey has to retreat.
Alright, well, the stock is actually picking up quite a few units. This is one of the most annoying things about dealing with Blink. You can't really run away from it for free. You'll always bleed something out on the retreat. Journey's spreading right now, expecting to take a defensive engagement, but for YongHwa, I kind of feel like he doesn't need to. He's down in upgrades. That third base is late. I mean, everything he needs to do right now, is weird to say this for him, but he needs to bide his own time.
Yeah, and I think he knows that, like, pushing in you never actually want to be the attacker in StarCraft 2. The defender always has an advantage as long as you're paying attention. So he just knows that at least he pushed him back. So at least his third's gonna go ahead and start mining freely. Surprisingly, not taking his gases, which I think is a big miss site. Like,
I'm actually really liking this Dark Shrine. There's not a single turret in the field.
Okay, but like they cost a lot of gas, so why don't you take your third gases there?
Yeah, you know, actually, so here's the thing. Like, chat's talking about, like, why not build a Raven? There's a lot of pros and cons to Ravens, of course.
Oh,
They're
God,
very expensive is the biggest con.
No, here's the worst thing about getting a Raven's a Terran, guys. No, okay, besides feedbacks, all right? The worst thing is that we already have 3 things to control, which is, like, I don't even care. Like, they're harder to control than Protoss Army, all right? Like, I'm going to say it.
All right, that biased opinion aside. One of the things, though, is, like,
No, you didn't even let me finish, all right? So you need to put a Raven into it, right? So you have to have 4... You have to have 4... control groups, right? You already have 3, so you have a 4th one, or you use tab, and Raven actually has priority over everything. So it's actually like a big headache just to have 1 Raven in your army.
Okay, that's true, but the point I was going to bring up is there's been an observer following Journey's army for the last 5 minutes. There's going to be DTs eventually in play. Like, even if you don't use it for anything then like auto-follow, having the Raven for free detection is going to be necessary for somebody who's been relying, not like using, but relying on mules for the last 10 minutes of the game.
It's also a big thing about actually keeping in mind to switch your starport as fast as you can to get a tech club on it and back onto the Vikings. I'm just giving all the reasons to why people don't do it. It might be a good idea, but it just actually takes a lot of effort too.
Yeah, I mean, like, the point defense is really cool, but anyways, all this aside, it doesn't really matter. There's no detection in play. He's been scanning offensively, not defensively. He's got no energy on these orbitals.
Oh, that's gonna get weird.
Oh, you know what? He just pulled the SCVs. These DTs actually have nothing to kill. Oh, it's so awkward. DTs decloaked because the EMP looks so weird in the middle of the map as well. So many Vikings here. This is gonna be one of those big engagements that could decide the game. Vikings gonna shell away the Colossus. This Guardian Shield's going down. This Blink Stalker's focusing these down, trying to stem backwards. There's so much bio behind this. The SCV's not buffering enough damage. It looks like a Colossus comes in from the back end, focused by the bio. No high ground vision, sadly.
Okay.
Oh, those forces are good.
Yeah, finally the force fields come down. I was waiting for that. He had so much energy and actually used them after all the zealots died.
Lift your CCs! Oh my god, is he gonna lose all 3 CCs to this?
He's focusing so much. It's all the supply box over again.
Oh my god, DT's warped to defensive. I mean, this is the thing. If you lose the CCs, guys, he loses any potential to scan, any potential to stop the Dark Templar. He might lose this game to no detection because the CCs, the orbitals are bleeding out. He lifts one. Thank God.
Oh, well, it's on fire. But that's like YongHwa kind of wins just because he has DTs. Like,
I kind of feel, yeah, the DTs are gonna win this game. It's the keeping up with the scans, keep the scans up with the DTs feels like it's gonna be impossible.
Yeah, now would actually be the scenario where you take a moment and you're like, okay, I'm losing all my CCs. Actually, let me go ahead and build a Raven. Like, maybe this is
where we need to talk about Ravens. Yeah, exactly.
Because you're no longer building Medivacs or Vikings, so now it's like you don't even have to worry. Just get 1 Raven. You're in an end game scenario. It's kind of like when you start sending out your SCVs everywhere, right? After like you realize it's gonna be a base trade.
Oh, sorry, because there's no SCVs and the CC is burning. Oh, land this is drop of fuel.
Oh, what the...
Okay, so both players are like baseless at this point, right? Like, nobody's gonna have any income. They're gonna be fighting what they have. Yet Journey has a huge army supply lead, but he's got no detection.
There's like a tech level.
Like, I want to.
Like, come on.
I want to be like Journey wins this game, right? But it's like, oh, it's gonna take.
What was that scan? That wasn't for anything.
I think he killed a DT.
It must have been like super fast.
I'm pretty sure he killed 1 DT. There was 1 DT on the ass of this army.
Please, okay.
Oh my god, is Journey actually going to break this to game number 7? This is looking pretty good. CC is burning over here in the bottom right. Everything building is floating. I mean, his army is looking good. There's no way to warp in more DTs. What's in play right now? Okay, we got 3 DTs, 6 Stalkers, 4 Zealots.
He's to land that orbital. Oh god, DTs are so good. Oh, you know, if he had any ghosts as
well,
like, he had 1 ghost.
No. Stalker's
1
there,
ghost.
what are you doing? Oh, this orbital's gonna burn.
Even if he doesn't have money for a Reaper anymore.
Okay, so 1 DT is being a real pain. He actually, sorry, 2 DTs are being a real pain. He actually can't land the orbital scan. The minerals will actually keep him from landing on the edge. So he has to float super deep in.
Land it. You can land the orbital now.
No, he can't. Well, that's what I'm saying though. Like, he doesn't want to because if he risks going super deep in, then the stalkers snipe it off before it can fly away safely. Like, he can technically land it, but he shouldn't. Look at this! If he loses, oh my god! If he loses the command center, that's it. There's no way to detect the DTs.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Go to the right! Go to the right! Anyway, I guess they're gonna like blink over to the right too, but oh my god! Oh my god!
This is what I'm saying! Oh no, Jenny! No! He's gonna burn it.
This is really how he loses this game? Oh my god!
He's got such a big supply lead. I think this is actually... Two DTs. There's no way to detect this. There's no SCVs in play. Even if there were, there's not enough money to build anything else. There's not a single turret available on the map. All Journey has to do, or all YongHwa has to do, is follow these fucking units.
No way. Journey just has to keep away from the two DTs.
Is this a draw? Is this a draw? Maybe. I mean, the YongHwa could no. He could build. He can build a Nexus. He's building a Nexus, and he can still build a Nexus.
Oh, that's actually a good point. He still has 420 minerals.
I think YongHwa wins.
Any other map, he'd actually probably draw. You can't actually hide your barracks anywhere.
Yeah, you can't fly anywhere in this map. You can't float anywhere safely. Draw potential aside, it doesn't matter because YongHwa's actually got the capability to build a Stargate. He's got the capability to power that up, get a Phoenix out, even if there was a spot to hide in this map. I think YongHwa wins the game. There's just... Journey would have to actually kill every building before the DTs kill him. And in a race against time like that, there's not enough energy in the world. There's not enough health on these units to stop that from happening.
Well, I think the perfect scenario is also YongHwa does have Blink Stalkers, so whenever Journey picks up like this, the Blink Stalkers are always going to be threatening. Which is why I think he doesn't pick up everything.
This is the first ever OlimoLeague finals, and like this is how it's going to end? The finals of the monthly finals. Oh god. Like if Journey can somehow fight, oh my god, does he have a ghost? No, he doesn't have a ghost. If he had a ghost, he can EMP.
That's what I said like 5 minutes ago. Like, if only had saved one ghost.
I hate this. He's like running for his life here, but he's bleeding units out, like little bit by little bit, but it's all that he needs.
Think about how dumb this is. He's like freaking Protoss. Like,
oh my god, this is legit getting Protoss on. Like, why did he get Forever Cloak? Can we just talk about this for a sec? Like, what the? Yeah, she can't kill the Nexus because the GTs are so fast.
Bring around the Rosie, chase the Blink Stalkers.
Zombie Crow. You know what? Like, he can't. This is what's so frustrating, guys. Like, he can't actually just pick up and go to the main or something and start killing buildings because the stalkers could potentially blink underneath and kill a medevac. And if he loses that army, that's over. That's it. That's game.
That's what I was totally talking about. That's actually what almost happened. He almost lost like a complete medevac full of units because the blink stalkers were on him.
You know what? Let's go back to the Raven talk for a second. Like, this is where you need a Raven more than anything else in the universe.
If he had this the frame of mind to actually think like, okay, maybe a Raven is good in this situation because it is a weird situation. I actually didn't think he had enough money. I didn't actually. I couldn't check fast enough. Maybe he tried to build like a couple SCDs that got killed.
You won't be sick. Land the buildings. Hang on, land the buildings on the ramp. The DTs would have to chew through that before they could go through the army, right? So like maybe land the buildings at the top of the ramp, create a wall, and then like slowly systematically kill all the actual buildings on the map and use the buildings to zone out where the DT. He's doing it! He's doing it! Oh! Ah, Journey, I love you, I love you, I love you. Maybe he makes this work then. Oh my god, he's playing Ring Around the Rosie still like crazy though. Oh god, he's gonna run out of health and stims eventually. Oh, okay, he's gonna land the buildings. Okay.
I can't. I just can't.
I hate. Oh my god, this is breaking my heart trying to watch this.
Oh, he's because he's talker. He can't, like, YongHwa's actually not mining, right? He has yet to rebuild. Oh, did he say do? Oh, no, he still has 8 probes. Why doesn't he rebuild a Nexus?
He's probably not thinking about it. He probably just thinks, like, yo, I can kill this, I can win this game.
The barracks block.
Oh my god, the DTs.
Kill the stalkers!
DTs, please.
Oh, high ground vision, though.
He just blinks up the high ground. Use the barracks against Journey, so Journey has to lift the barracks up. Letting the DTs out, letting the animals out of the cage. The tigers come on top of the Vikings, and this is not looking good. Oh, Journey. Journey.
Pick up the Viking!
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Something. I believe in the power of Journey, and I love him to death, but I don't think he can win this.
Right there.
He's down to 1 Marauder and 2 Marines.
Oh, wow.
1 Marauder and 2 Marines. He can't even deal with the stalkers.
So dumb. This is so dumb.
This is how it ends. This is how it finishes. Not like this.
Are the dumbest thing in the world.
Not like this.
No, I'm just like big like balance rant, alright? If this was Brood War, you get science vessels because they're fucking good, alright? So you have detection. You also have like spider mines. In this game, in StarCraft 2, you don't get a Ravens, they're really not that great. Gah! Make them better. Make them better and people will get Ravens, alright? Alright? Gah!
It is... I mean, the opposite argument can be made that, look, there's a lot of ways to get detection out. There's a lot of ways to have actually dealt with this. But we sadly didn't see any of that out of Journey. I can't believe this is what the game's going on too. I mean, he's still looking for ways to get... I admire his tenacity. The stubbornness, whatever you want to call it. Still fighting here, dragging on top of the stalkers. I mean, honestly, a Marauder and these Marines could actually beat back the stalkers, but it doesn't matter because there's no way to deal with those DTs.
He is such. Oh, and they one-shot Marines too.
Oh my god, he just like turned into a stone statue and bled out. What was that? His soul got sucked out of him. Was that Harry Potter thing, the Dementors or whatever?
Yeah, the Dementors. The Dementors kiss.
Oh
Live for your life.
At least kill that last stalker, Journey. Before you leave this game, kill that last stalker.
He probably thinks that a Nexus. Well, no, he actually would have seen the Nexus pop up.
Yeah, everything's been revealed at this point.
No, he would have. Yeah, he would have seen like Nexus has been repaired.
But YongHwa, yeah, you're right. He could have built a Nexus a long time ago, but he's been building units actually. I guess I don't know. Mothership Core on the way.
Are you serious? There's only one Marine. A Mothership Core would win this game too. God damn it.
Oh, this is so disheartening, but this is the way it's gonna end. And you know what? I'm so glad that. Look at this hot pickup though. Holy crap, those aren't even on the ground for like a second. The DTs can barely swing, but he loses everything. GG's finally gone, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, YongHwa will win 4-2 in the OlimoLeague Grand Finals. I can't even. I'm really glad we recast this, and I'm really glad I didn't know how the game was gonna fucking go. Jesus Christ. What a game for YongHwa! YongHwa a game!
My face right now, man. It's a good thing camera's on.
Yeah.
Like raging.
My face went and just like, ugh. Alright, well, I've never personally been more mad with Protoss, but I've never been more happy that the first finals could have gone to such an epic ending. It's really sad Journey couldn't get the victory there, but of course it's because we got a little bit of Terran bias and a little bit of a Journey crush.
Oh, did I tell you that Snoot actually knows about that, right?
What?
So we were talking in there, like talking about good Korean standout teams or something, and like Snoot looks at me at Korean Barbecue and goes like, "Yeah, Base TV is all about Journey." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know all about Journey."
So I'm just like, let me tell you a thing or two about a thing or two. Oh my goodness, but guys, that was a blast. Thank you for joining us for this. I never thought we would have had so many viewers for a replay recast, but we peaked at around what, 1,200 or so that's pretty rad. Yeah, I really hope we don't have to do too many of these again in the future, because of course, you know, I got screwed up by the timings, and hopefully there's better production in the future, or not production, better week-to-week cast in the future. But thank you kindly for tuning in. Thank you for joining us. I do hope you enjoyed it. I hope you didn't. I hope you guys didn't. I honestly hope you didn't see this on Saturday, and this is your first time enjoying it with us, just like our first time seeing it, because that's pretty crazy and pretty awesome. But GG, well played by both indeed. DTs, David Kim, please. Just punching my desk, hurting my knuckles right now. But that's